Do cold plunges actually improve your mental health? Is jumping from job to job the most effective way to raise your salary? And is social media genuinely making modern dating worse? What about larger structural decisions? Is buying a house still a better investment than renting? Or are mandatory office days actually better for your productivity? We live in an environment with access to almost every piece of information ever recorded, yet finding a definitive factual answer to any of these questions feels nearly impossible. Search a basic health question, like whether intermittent fasting works better than calorie counting. A single query generates tens of millions of results, burying your original question under an avalanche of links. Those results often split into completely contradictory answers. When you look closely at the underlying structure, many of those opposing links are optimized for search rankings rather than accuracy, often leading directly into sales funnels. To get a reliable answer, read 10 different articles, evaluate the credibility of each author, and cross-reference their sources yourself. You are forced to act as a data analyst just to decide when to eat breakfast. Spending hours scrolling through these conflicting pages often leaves you less certain than when you started. We don't need a tool that gives us more links to read. We need a tool that synthesizes the evidence. NeedleSeek is built to deliver instant answers backed strictly by concrete evidence. Let's test it with one of the most heavily debated questions in business right now. Is remote work actually hurting team creativity? A traditional search engine responds to this by throwing a barrage of sponsored posts, opinion pieces, and unverified blogs at you. NeedleSeek takes a different approach. It bypasses the opinion articles, reads the actual published studies, and delivers a clear, declarative verdict derived from aggregated data. By removing the mental burden of manually cross-referencing dozens of tabs, it changes the way we use the internet, shifting it from a directory of links into an operational tool for finding answers. Of course, reality is rarely simple. In the case of remote work, legitimate experts and high-quality studies arrive at different conclusions. Rather than flattening those disagreements to give a falsely simple answer, NeedleSeek specifically highlights and categorizes exactly where the sources conflict. This chart maps out those conflicting studies. You can see the data points showing an increase in individual output on one side, directly contrasted with studies tracking a measurable lag in spontaneous brainstorming on the other. Every single data point is attached to a specific citation. Scientific research is messy, but the tool structures that chaos into an organized format you can read. Once you understand the baseline answer, NeedleSeek anticipates your next logical step by generating highly relevant follow-up questions derived from the initial verdict. You move smoothly from your first question to a deeper understanding of the topic, breaking the cycle of dead-end searches, keeping you in frictionless learning. You are no longer paralyzed by algorithmic noise and the endless loop of scrolling through comment sections looking for consensus. That clarity applies perfectly whether you are weighing macro decisions like buying property or fine-tuning the micro details of your daily wellness routine. Your time is your most valuable asset. Spending hours digging through pages of search engine filler to find one reliable fact is a waste of it. Go to NeedleSeek and test it out. Type in your most complex, unresolved question and see the evidence for yourself. The era of being overwhelmed by data is over. When evidence is synthesized and the noise is stripped away, clear answers are finally within reach.